Good afternoon, welcome back to Perth to the 2018 Mercure City of Perth Masters. Come to you live from the GER Centre in Perth, Scotland. My name is Alan Chalmers, with me is Mary Milne. We're here to do a B-road game between two of the European visiting teams here, Patrick Maberg from Sweden and Alexander Baumann from Germany. Just about underway. The teams are preparing themselves to do their draw the shot challenge to determine hammer in the first end.
Yeah, Team Baumann have already thrown their draw, Alan, and they were sitting back at the forefoot. So Patrick here's got a fairly tricky job ahead of him to outscore that one. So we'll see how he goes. Team Mabergs are looking ready for the contest anyway. They look quite relaxed, quite pleased. And Team Baumann also in good form, lots of smiles. So.
Yep, extreme close-ups, putting them under a little bit of pressure, not knowing quite where to look, but should be a good game, I think. This is, as I say, this is a B-road game, so both these teams have played 2 games already in the tournament. Both lost their first game last night, or yesterday afternoon, but came back with a win this morning to set this match up. So.
Good. Hopefully the damp conditions that we're unfortunately suffering in Perth this afternoon won't make too much of have an impact on the ice. The ice makers work very hard to keep it consistent and not be affected by the weather. So
yeah, ice was pretty good for the game we did this morning. Didn't seem to be any problems getting at the right speed. Good swings, late swings, which is what the players really want, so they can get the draws around the guards. Here we go.
Yeah, the practice throw was through the house, I think, so he'll need to make a bit of an adjustment here.
Johannes närmast in.
Just having a look, looks like it might just hang on. I think it's going to be better than the one you saw before, Mary.
Oh, you know what, it'll be pretty close actually, I would think. That'd be quite close. They were both reasonable throws there.
It's enough.
We're almost ready to get underway.
Yeah, absolutely. I told us to take it away after
All the games on this afternoon are B-road games, so every team has played 2, won 1 and lost 1. Triple knockout, so they get 3 lives before they're eliminated. So even if either of these teams was to lose this afternoon, they'd have another game in the C Road.
Later on this afternoon, or
I think it's potentially tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. So. The dinner is held this evening, isn't it? So, yeah, only one more draw today.
One of the great traditions of the Masters is the team dinner on the Friday night.
Yeah, and it's usually a great night. So we'll try to keep the listeners and viewers updated with the scores across the sheets, because I know that can be, quite interesting. So we'll try and keep you updated, but we'll concentrate on this contest here between Sweden and Germany.
So looks like Baumann's draw was wasn't the winner, so he's going to go first. Just waiting for the clarification from the officials that we can actually get
time clocks, I think.
Yeah. Okay. It's okay.
Yeah, off we go. So we have Sebastian throwing first. Yeah.
Is it too cold for Patrick? Is it too cold for Patrick here?
Well, the sweepers are happy to stand back from
this
this one.
I think he's in the zone, I think. Looks like it's probably just going to run in to the ring. It's quite a conventional start nowadays. Lead will try and throw one onto the tee line, assuming the opposition will then throw a corner guard. That was just going a little deep, so... Oh, well, he's
a wee bit disappointing.
Disappointed. Set that end up to be an attacking open game of curling, and he's immediately hitting one in the back ring. So he's setting his stall out early.
Yeah, I suppose it lets his lets his lead settle a little, and hopefully it won't be all hit for hit, but we'll see.
Sebastian just playing the same shot. Strike weight in the back line. Almost need one of these ones to hit and roll out to change the dynamics of this end already. Otherwise, it could be 15 hits in a row here.
Yeah. By that time, they'll get to the tee line, I suppose.
That's right, and out the front.
Yeah. Fairly straightforward hit and stick there, but I guess it's not always easy to hit on the nose, so we can give them some credit for that. Yeah, they're playing a fairly heavy weight, even, aren't they? They're not taking any chances.
Not taking any chances. Not letting a
down weight, and here we have another hit.
And certainly the games we've seen so far early on, the heavier running stones have not drawn at all, so they don't really need to be playing even if as heavy as they are, because they've got the sweepers, they've got straighter running ice at the beginning. However, they're the ones down there, so
yeah, absolutely. We were finding the 4-foot lines yesterday, early evening, were just running a little straighter, and depending on release, I think it's maybe playing the up weight takes that out.
Takes the risk of handling, yeah.
So we're over the other side of the centre line, but I think we're still going to have the same shot called. A down weight kind of maybe an easy hit take out. So. I guess in the second game of the day, they know the weight of the ice, they know the ice conditions. So it's a little bit,
no change.
A little bit disappointing that they haven't started off a little bit more aggressively, but maybe both these teams, this may well be their style.
It's just their style. Maybe they don't like taking on the attacking shots too early. Maybe they get themselves into trouble. 8-end game, you don't want to be too far behind early on. It's a short time frame to try and close down the gap.
Neither of these teams are
just working this one a little harder. He's certainly not the same weight. The first two that we saw coming down were still.
No, that's a little bit
still
more
right
like
on the
barrier,
nose.
isn't it?
Good
But yeah, right on the nose. Good sweeping. Held it straight there when they needed to. I was just going to say, neither of these teams are featuring at the Olympics.
No, Baumann was in the pre-qualifier in the Czech Republic, but was eliminated before the playoffs.
Okay.
And obviously, Mabergs has got to get past some guy called Eden to win the Swedish Championship.
That can be tricky, can't it? As many's a team has found out.
He's got a future in the game, Eden, I hear.
Oh, well, he's getting on now.
Time is king.
He'll not thank me for that. He's certainly got a lot of years ahead of him.
So.
So we're now down to third stones. So this end's just going to play itself out like this, and I don't think we're going to have anything.
I think the only thing I'm thinking is whether the Swedes are going to take their one or try and blank the one, or take the one accidentally, or deliver. That's all I'm building this end up for now.
That's all we've got to hope for. We saw last night, Rob and I were quite convinced a number of ends that it was going to shape up in a certain way, and often it did not. So you only need one mistake to completely turn things.
Absolutely.
But this
will set their stall out for a simple straight hitting end here, I think. So slight change in the order in terms of how they throw the stones in the Swedish team. That's Fredrik Newman, who's actually skipped the first 4 stones but then throws third rocks himself. So
Lots of rocks, lots of rolls.
Yeah, so last stones are thrown by Fredrik, maybe?
no, Fredrik just threw those.
Oh, Fredrik threw those. Oh, so yeah,
Sweet.
sorry. Yeah, he skips them there. Well, there we've had the... Oh, now that would have been a close call. Possibly wouldn't have made any difference at the end of the day. So I don't think we're going to see a corner guard at this stage.
I don't think so, unless he really gets his split times wrong. He's going to try and draw to the wings and hope that Alexander Baumann maybe throws a wide strike and misses on the high side, I guess. But,
well, I guess it's nice for him to having played the fairly open end. It gives him a chance to throw
he gets
a draw.
to draw weight, yeah.
And does pretty well with it. So. No need for any great discussion or hesitation there from Baumann. He's quite confident what he needs to do. This will be a hit and run to blank the end and keep last stone.
This is the only sheet they actually keep the time clocks going across the entire tournament. So maybe these guys know that in the past they've come victim to time clock pressure and are happy to whiz through the first end sharply.
Yeah, I mean there should be plenty of time if you're keeping going and not wasting too much time. But it only needs one end where there's a lot of thinking or a lot of deliberation, and it can run away from you. And then, as you say, end up the last couple of ends under a bit of pressure. That's when you want a clear head and to be able to take your time a little more. So. Going back to the same spot.
Well, Alexander didn't hit a lot of that stone, so he's maybe thinking that he's got a small chance. Certainly didn't much sweeping. Not even with the directional sweeping did they try and get that one back down.
No, not at all. They just left it to its own devices, and as you say, it didn't make much contact. So. So
Patrick Mabergs' first stone, first end.
You might have thought about changing the position of this draw, do you think, or quite happy to go back to that same spot?
I think they just put it back in roughly the same slot, just because Baumann's stone hit less than a quarter of the stone, I think. So they may think he's got a weakness in this hand, in this track.
Yeah, he's certainly not wasted any time in delivering that stone there. He's
There we go. So this. See if his tactics are vindicated. If he can blank the first end, or whether.
A wee bit less ice maybe than Baumann was taking. Might throw a heavier weight. Safely done, so we have our blank end.
Yep, safely done. Let's see what German team start off with. They may think that if Mabergs is going to be that defensive, they'll go more on the offensive.
Well, they certainly did rattle through that end, because we've not got any other scores to update on the other sheets. They're all still in the middle of play, so we can't do any more than wait for this second end of our feature game to start before we can give any more info, really. It's great to see the ice full, though, isn't it, Alan?
It is. I think the colour and the spectacle, and seeing the ice rink full. We know that the international teams love coming to the Perth Masters. It's a high calibre competition on great ice in a really good venue. So it is one of the popular stops on the tour.
There's never really a great struggle in filling the team numbers, which is it's not always the case for other tournaments.
My heart's sinking. I think this is drifted into the house.
This is going back in. This is terrible.
The only thing I might see is it might actually go through the rings, in which case the Swedish team can't hit it.
Yeah. Well, no. It's going to hang on. Surely. Well, will he hit it in the back ring? He's going for a guard.
There we go.
Good man.
Yeah, he just wanted the hammer in the even ends, which is a long game he was playing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's nice to be scoring in the even ends, and I think possibly more important in the 8-end game to get control of that situation. So here we go. A nice guard will be required here. Sweepers are thinking it's good. Well, it's certainly all there for weight. They're not needing to help it out at all.
Just beginning to drift off the line now. Nice swings on the sheet this morning for the McDonald-Ulsrud game. On that in-turn line, there was coming back towards us as we were at the bar end. So this was there was definitely some big draw coming off that in-turn.
That's maybe a foot further up than he would have liked, but
Difficult to get.
It's in a nice position line-wise. So Baumann now throwing the centre.
Again, no sweeper involvement yet.
No, they're hovering though, so they think it must be close. Taking quite a nice draw to the centre line there. We saw a few last night that were overdrawing on the centre guards, but that's perfect. So we're going to use this corner.
Ignoring the centre guard and ignoring the one at the back of the outfield. They're just going to try and lie in behind the red. I don't think they'll. There's a small gap to get shot, but I think they're more likely just to want to get buried rather than actually lying shot at the moment.
Yeah, I think as you see there, this doesn't need to be the one that's, it's a long way till we're counting the stones at the end of the end. So this is a positional shot, isn't it, to give them a chance of maybe scoring 2 by the time we come to the end of the end. It's taking a wee bit longer to curl, having to work it a little bit harder now. Just didn't draw quite as much as they would have liked.
No, I don't think so. Just I don't think Baumann will chase that yet. He's got a centre guard. He's playing. Good defence from him as well now. I suppose he can get this in, take off the corner guard.
Yeah, maybe get a roll back towards the centre.
Back towards the centre, yeah, definitely.
Don't think he'll get in to the house off this one.
Whoa!
It looks like quite a nice weight. It's not particularly heavy, but it's controllable with the sweepers, you would think. So
again, just running straighter at those up weights.
yeah.
Just
certainly not the side he was looking to hit it on. So whether it ran a little straighter or perhaps Ryan was a little bit wider there with it.
Yeah, I think as I say, just fractionally up and the slight misjudgment of the ice to get that correct. So.
So we're
6 up. Oh, yep, shut up.
going round.
Whoa. I'm at 6 up.
Trying to get round and tap the one at the back rings. Now he is chasing this one at the back rings. However, that must have been an either-or shot, I think, because they weren't sweeping hard for the back stone.
Yeah, you would have thought they would have. If they were trying to come, maybe they were trying to hit that one and roll over to give themselves a corner guard again. Maybe try and catch half stone actually rather than come to the back one. But
hard to know exactly what they're doing. I thought they were going to. I thought the ice he was giving, he was trying to draw over to the far side to lie 2 on different sides of the rings. But although that would have left a potentially dangerous centre guard. But,
yeah,
maybe it was just a peel. Maybe we just missed the call on that.
It seems. Well, we're back.
Well, it's given Baumann a chance to lie the 2 now. So to back yourself to make a double now, to avoid the steal or to only be looking at your force.
That was a strange call there, or a strange result maybe. It wasn't perhaps the result they were looking for. So he'll no doubt be trying to roll towards the centre, I would have thought.
I think so.
That's a good line.
One of the cameramen goes right down low and gets in behind the line there. There's just a little gap in the barrier there in the sheets. Coverage has been, the camera work's great, really, isn't it? Yeah, it's been fantastic this year. That's it's the World Curling Tour that's covering this event for us and providing the pictures. So the resolution on the camera work has been fantastic. The colours are really vivid. It's a pleasure to watch.
I guess they're producing these competitions and matches now week in, week out, the World Curling TV. So they're doing a good job of it. And we're lucky to have them here. So yellow still lie 2 and have the advantage certainly to look like forcing a one at this stage.
I think Reds have to get this stone rolling in towards the middle now, don't they, to give themselves a chance of a double later on to blank out the end. The further apart these yellows go, the harder it is for them. This is quite a steep angle, so they don't think the double's there, so all they could do is maybe roll 3/4 of the way down towards the one at the back of the rings there.
Yeah, you'd be taking a risk, wouldn't you, to be hitting it on the high side to play the yellow over to hit the other one. So
yeah, or even the other way, you're risking taking a third or a quarter of the stone, and we do know the stones do swing.
Yeah, and once they go, they're very even at weight, it's very difficult to hold them. So we must be thinking this one's
got a chance
a little bit. Quite a nice weight. Perfectly judged there. They couldn't have done much better with that. That's a super shot. Yeah. Ideal. So now we'll be lucky.
Baumann will try and splat everything out here, or is he trying to get the nose?
Certainly a peel weight.
Things I don't may get the nose by default, but I think this is looking just to now how quickly it changes. That was a good shot. Good shot that the Swedes put in there. Completely changed that end. From
they were looking like being forced two stones ago, and now there is now
they can put separation on these two.
They could be scoring too.
Yeah, definitely. Good shot there.
He wants a nose, but I would have thought he would want a little bit of a roll maybe. But again, they could be happy almost to have the 2 in the house, force Mabergs into trying the double, and if they make it, that's fine. They get to blank again and keep control. They're not going to panic at this stage, but this one's needing to be worked fairly hard by the Swedes.
Just under the nose, I think, is it?
Well, it's not maybe what he was looking for, but keeps the 2 stones in the house. But I think this is a fairly straightforward double.
Looks like any contact on the right hand side of the stone as we look at it will also push the second counter out or lie against it. Or just
doesn't need to move them far. With them being in the back ring, there's not to.
Just don't be tight.
Just a wee nudge. They're quite comfortable with that. You like a yes/no. They've just about held on there to the back ring, so that was a good result. Another blank, we think?
Should be.
Good job. Hanging around. Thank you.
We seem to be
good chums.
Yeah, good spirits, playing the game quite nicely. It's much nicer when you can have a little bit of chat with your opposition and
in a neutral language.
Yeah, and be relaxed enough to say good shot. It's I think it's one of the pluses of the game, isn't it, that we're still quite keen to carry on the good sportsmanship.
Definitely.
Not needing any sweeping. They're going to catch enough. Yeah. Quite comfortable. We were a stone ahead of ourselves.
Similar to the first end, trying to put this in as awkward a position as he can in case he thinks Mabergs has got a weaker hand or a weaker track that he doesn't like throwing on. They've chosen to try and put it onto the button, I think, to make it as hard as possible for Mabergs to roll out.
Yeah, and it gives Baumann the chance to throw the draw, which will be
he's probably not had yet, has he?
First one since his draw shot to get last stone or not get last stone, as was the case. So that's quite nice for him that the other stone rolled out there. This is certainly looking as if it's all there.
Just crept on a bit far. So.
He'll be glad he wasn't needing that to land in the forefoot against 2 counters. So it gives him a...
Those are the ones you make, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you've got the whole house to hit, thinking the guy's going to get a blank. Amazing how often you put it a little bit too deep.
Now they're working this one a little, but
Good rotations.
safely done.
Off it goes.
Yeah.
Bra.
So
Bra,
another,
bra, bra.
Rattling through this.
yeah, another blank on this sheet, but
Fint.
have
Left på den.
we got anything exciting happening in the other games that we can... Oh well, Schwaller has taken a 3 against Pat Simmons' Canadian team in the first end there, so that's a big jump to get against a very experienced team. Not many teams would be unhappy to score a 3 in the first end.
No, that's certainly a solid start. Simmons lost to Returners this morning, which I guess some people may have thought was a shock, but Returners have been playing well all season. Obviously qualified Italy for the South Korean Olympics, so confidence is high. So great win against Simmons this morning, and obviously Schwaller's turning the screw in this game.
Yeah, I don't know when the Canadians arrived. I would guess they've been here a few days, but maybe a little bit of jet lag still.
Possibly, I think
still in the legs.
I spoke to Pat in the hall earlier on. He said he came in on the 2nd.
Okay.
So not a huge amount of time to get over the jet lag. Still managed a round of golf with jet lag, he told me.
Absolutely.
Before the rains came.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd be daft not to.
Correct.
Coming
all
to
this way, and
Scotland.
St Andrews is 40 miles from here, so a good game of golf from the old course with his golfing buddies.
Good stuff.
Back to the curling, which is what we're here for, and German lead trying to throw up a centre guard. Looks close. Yeah, here we go. Got a game on now. We've got
Yeah.
centre guards in play. We'll ignore those first 2 ends
Excellent.
and get a 6-end game going here.
The second end there was slightly more interesting with that's interesting shot play, but yeah, now we've got
Got some
we're coming
scoring.
round
Got some scoring.
coming round the centre.
They always say that 0-0 draws in football are quite exciting. But, I'm not sure about 0-0 in curling. For 8 ends we could...
Have you ever? We were once we were playing Dordy in Switzerland and lost 1-0.
Did you? I know I've...
That's what we had last time. So
were
it
you
was
blanking
Yeah.
all the way through
We
and then
were.
fresh to last?
Well, it wasn't afraid. Well, yeah, no, I think it was a draw that was slightly, Dordy's was slightly better than ours. At the end of the day, we just rubbed off ours. We did fresh a guard. I won't name names and name and shame, but it wasn't me. Which is good enough for me. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Back to this game. So yeah, 1-0 wouldn't be ideal.
Genau, Donny! Ja! Niet goed! No leggen! Whoa, Owen!
They're having to work this a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's got plenty weight. So
Swedes just they like to come round the centre guard this time. We're a fraction deep, so we've got the end well set up now. It looks almost like a start of a mixed doubles game. This we've got the guard, we've got one behind the button and one drawn on it. But,
and there's with the yellow bumping the red back a little bit there on this nice swingy ice. There's actually enough room, you would say, for him to come round and to move that yellow without it coming in contact with the red. I think.
you can just push this back on the diagonal and get it past the back one, I think.
They've certainly from one extreme to the other, haven't they? With coming round the
Yeah,
centre
they've gone
and
and
coming round
pressed
again.
pressed their aggressive
that's
button.
it.
Yeah. However, I think we're maybe seeing he's got round that guard as well. Swept. There you go. As you said, just pushed it across the face.
That's a nice stone.
Yeah, it's a great shot.
Good sweeping. The single sweeper there held it up well.
Yeah, held it back off the line there. Yeah.
But there is potentially a double there, and to then stick behind the guard. See how Mr. Shepherd does with this.
Yeah, he's
Sherrod.
He's coming out with a bit of pace here, so he's playing the double there. The ice there could have been the freeze ice as well without knowing the calls. However, looks like he's gone for the low hit and roll, which is a pretty good try. Yeah, it's a good shot again.
That's great. We've seen really good stones.
Yeah,
this end.
fantastic.
First one from Swedes a little bit deep, but apart from that, we've seen nice weights and obviously good throws.
Lucky to have 7 of the Olympic teams playing this weekend. Just got a glimpse of Morozumi there, who had a great game against Nicholas Eden this morning, lost in the extra end. So that was the first of the Olympic matchups. Just looking across to see if there's anyone else. I can't see anyone else just at the moment. Those psychological points, scoring points.
Well, yeah, it's nice. I mean, I don't think it's going to make an awful lot of difference. The teams will be fully prepared and, you know, starting with alleged clean sheets and backing themselves once they get to the Olympics. But it's always nice to know
so
that
you're in the back of your mind.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a nice shot, well played. Possibly rolled a little further than they wanted. I think they were maybe looking to
keep a counter
to
in
hold
there.
The corner a little bit. But
chance for Germany to put one right in line here.
yeah, I think they want to be reasonably close again, quite tight to the...
Yeah, those ones are behind the tee, I guess, so the closer the better. He's got his brush down at the top of the 8 foot. You can't see that on the screen. I can see that he's got his brush at the top of the 8 foot, so that's how deep he wants this to go. There's not much separation between the yellow and the red at the back. So
they're having to work this one pretty hard, well, and I think they're going to end up a little shorter than they'd anticipated.
That's good, Ryan. Good.
Rudimentary German says that's good shot, Ryan, so he's quite happy with it there.
Yeah, I think it's certainly, you know, it's there, it's an eye catcher, but it certainly won't stop the Swedes coming down to attack this yellow there. It's enough of a swing. That's probably certainly 4, 5, 6 feet too short, I think.
Yeah, so I can swing one round here, back line weight, maybe try to get onto the face of the yellow, separate the yellow and the red behind it. So then 2 or 4 shots time, there's maybe something building for him there.
Just kind of hack, maybe barrier as much as that. Or hackish probably. But it's certainly drawing on them. It's drawing quicker than they had anticipated.
It's right to the nose, I think, now, isn't it?
Yep, so they lose their back counter. Back to advantage Germany.
Yeah, well, I think it's because they're advancing up the house. All of a sudden, he's got a shot here to lie, just about touching the button.
Yeah, and behind
the guard. So the Swedish team have to start coming down their weights a bit to try and get the bigger finish. Therefore, the German team's stones are not going to get popped through.
This is certainly a positive handle, wasn't it?
Yeah, he does put a lot of handle.
Yeah. Although it's still, you know, it's moving quite a bit towards the end there, so yeah, that's not too bad. Kind of slightly the wrong side, but doesn't disturb the other one behind the guard, so I think they'll be reasonably happy with that. It does give the hit and roll or tap and
Try and
roll.
get in front of it again, yeah.
Yeah. You'd like to, it's not a lot of ice, so it must be throwing a reasonable weight, but I think a down weight, I would have liked to have seen maybe a hack or...
Maybe just not trusting the ice to hold up yet. I haven't seen side to side yet and know the different weights. So potentially underthrow it or soft handle it.
Well,
or
that's
something.
it. You chip the guard and you're in bother then, yeah. So it's probably the safest call.
Conservatively.
And if he's throwing enough weight and he's high, you know, he'll chip that back yellow and move things about.
He's going to try and do that, actually, just try and move both of them away deeper.
They're having to work it nonetheless. Actually wasn't as heavy as we thought.
No,
so
I don't think so.
Yeah,
so but it's curled too much. So
yeah, either.
A slight mistake there, yeah. I think. Gives Germany a chance to put a good first counter, I would suggest. You try and get in here if you can.
They wonder if there was a miscommunication there, perhaps, about the weight in line.
Linie ist gut! Auf die Länge! Weiter, weiter, weiter,
Yeah, they're working this one.
Yeah, blown their chance there. That was a chance to get a good counter in there. Put the pressure on.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed with that.
Newman, but
That wasn't a great shot there because he'd just thrown the other
way.
guard, and it was shorter than he needed. So they wanted to make sure of that one.
It's covered the yellow on the one hand, so it's forcing Newman to come in T-weight only now on the intern.
Yeah. But he's got a lot of scope to just either freeze right back to that yellow or even to sit high on the top of the forefoot as
Well,
shot.
I think that's what I'd like to do, is leave it short of the tee and have no exit path for this red with Baumann's first stone.
We saw that last night. That it's, you know, some games it's great play that make the difference in turn and end, but often it's a mistake, isn't it? You know, and then you just leave the door open, and you've got to be able to take it. But this is possibly a little heavier than they'd hoped, so it's right back to the yellow.
Back, so leaves a small gap for Alexander Baumann to draw in. And again, as you say, it swings back and forward, and sometimes it's the shot after a opposition mistake that's the best, the one that you have to make the best.
Yes, absolutely. If you get the chance, you've got to grab it.
He's just not taking that chance there. And likewise here, Baumann's going to make the most of this small gap he's been given.
He'll be glad he got that throw of a draw of the last end when he wasn't expecting it. So we'll see if he can do better than he did then. Well, I think the line's good.
Google Translate.
Yeah. Working hard though.
This one's going, I think, isn't it? Has he got the weight?
Short of weight, I think maybe.
I think so.
They're dragging it well, but I don't think they're going to get it far enough. So that's 3 poor stones. Well, not poor. 2 quite poor and 1.
Yeah, it really gives Maberg a big chance now. If he can play the really good shot now. I might be saying this for the rest of the end, but if he can play the good shot now, that's right. He's going to be looking at 2, possibly even a shot for a 3 later on.
But I guess even if he's short here, there's the pressure on, isn't it?
Yeah, he can afford to leave this one actually slightly shorter, because it's something he might be able to use.
He might have to.
Number 8 still.
Alexander's going to have to come down the other hand potentially, and you just don't know how that's going to run. Then you know he just doesn't want to be too deep with this. Looks still moving. They must. Surprised they were sweeping that.
Different line this one. I think where the Baumann stone was by this point.
Yeah, a little bit further out, but look at it come now. It's moving.
This looks pretty good. I think just get that finish on it now. Yeah, good shot.
That's. I would have thought almost exactly where he wanted that one. I don't know if there are angles to pop one of these guards, and there's nothing really.
They're all cross-checking, aren't they? One goes one way, one goes the other. I don't think there's anything there. The best he can now do, I think, is freeze on that one and potentially cut him down. I suppose there must be room to push it back. It looks like it would come down to.
It's not going to move. I mean, he could, you would think if he moves it a couple of inches, then he may be short, but he probably doesn't want to.
I think he's looking at cold freeze, even a block on that in-turn hand, and make Mabergs throw a cold draw for his 2 into the 1 foot, I think.
If he can get away with the force here, I think he'd be absolutely delighted, wouldn't he? So we'll see. He's off. He certainly doesn't waste any time.
No,
he's quick in the hack, and that's good. You know, it's good for the team. It's good for your other players aren't getting kind of time to daydream. So. It's starting to move now, Alan. It's certainly, he's getting a bit more draw.
Just no bounce. That's a pretty good shot. He's not lying the shot. Red still have a little corner of the hole, I think. But I think he's made that pretty difficult to get many more.
He certainly.
Unless he can just see a bit of it.
I don't think that he'll be able to see the inside of it, which is what he's going to need.
No, you can see actually a bit more than we first thought there. I think if he can come down and grab as much of that yellow that's just been played as he can, then it might spring apart.
Bounce it off the red. Because he's certainly going to keep. Yeah, this could actually. It's tight though, isn't it?
You're calling this for a 4.
Well,
you almost did that, didn't you?
I almost did, but it's too. I think it's too tight for that. I think he'd be more than delighted if he gets a 2 out of this.
He's got to watch he doesn't lose a shot here.
Yeah, that's the. I guess that's the risk, but I think it's a worthwhile gamble.
Yeah, I think so.
He has to come at this with a little bit of weight, hoping that he can bounce that yellow over the top, and
well, this one will catch on the back yellow.
Yeah.
The one at the back, will catch on the back.
He's certainly coming at it with a bit of weight.
It's close.
Ooh, it's close to that guard. That was really as. I see. I should have stuck with my
2,
gun.
3. There's a yellow one out here we can't see on the screen yet.
Oh.
2.
And only just 2 actually.
Thought we were going to count them up. But yeah, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can small wager for the 4 then.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about the yellow. I'm going by what I see on the screen. Well, that was a nice shot actually. It didn't pass that far, the long guard by much. You know.
Nor the one in the house actually.
No.
But yeah.
The weight he was throwing, he couldn't be any closer. I don't think. That was.
Good result.
That was a nice end. That was a good
that
end
was
to
better.
curling. Yeah, we're happy with that. And I'm sure they're quite happy too. So, have we got anything else exciting happening across the sheets? Simmons took a 2 back, so that kind of makes that a little bit more close again. 3-2 now.
Yeah, it's difficult because our game is going so much more quickly than others. We're actually half an end ahead of most of the rest of the games, despite starting maybe later because of this being a televised game.
Yeah, neither skipper hanging about though, and the game is rolling along at a pace, so it's good. But that hopefully we'll get another end like the last end, get a guard here and see how it develops. Lovely steady slide.
Sweeping it hard, mustn't be quite exactly where they're wanting it.
I think we're going into the house.
I think so, it's coming into the 4 foot.
I think at 2 down we're going to have to see a corner guard.
German team should put up corner guard either side and hope that something develops off where the next red Swedish stone comes in.
It's quite a difference in the deliveries of the 2 leads.
Yes.
But maybe
it's high off the ground on that one.
Without being rude, there's maybe a little bit of a difference in the age of the 2 leads as well.
No.
Still moving, they want that to stop.
If he gets a bite,
too
then
quickly.
if he gets a bite of the wings, which he has done, more than a bite, then
not ideal.
it's frustrating as a skip, doesn't it? You have a strategy all lined out in your head.
So
First stone.
in the house, I think. Back to the drawing board. See if he hits as well as he does.
That's a good slide, isn't it?
It is, it's a steady slide. That's what all the gym works for, isn't it? To give you strong enough legs and core to
So they tell me.
be able to maintain that. Now, Alan, I know you're a fine figure of a gym bunny. Must just be looking in a mirror. See my boy sliding out there.
Yes, okay. That's moving on.
I think we're going back to the corner.
Yeah, harder now though, because it can be hit if he puts the puts the corner guard up, the Mabergs team can hit it. Free guard zone's gone after the stone.
I guess he's hoping for a nose or even just a hit and roll to somewhere else on the sheet. Just he needs a guard desperately now. Something to get the end moving in the direction he'd like, but quite long. We've seen that the Swedish team are keen to hit anyway, so I don't think.
Yes, I don't think they're going to they're not going to gamble in this, are they? Play anything too aggressive for their steal. They'll be looking just to put the pressure on Baumann's last stone. Even at this early stage in the end, they'll be thinking that we've got to make Alexander play his last stone for a 1, best case, for a German 1 in the best case.
Yeah. Standard peel there wasn't really any bother for him.
Slight change here. He's called to draw in front of the 2 reds there. 12 o'clock as he looks at it, just to see if he can draw an error out of the Swedish team. Maybe get one of the Yellowstone to jab on one of the reds, or take out one of his reds by mistakes.
The corner peel would be just too straightforward. He has to try and shift it about a little bit, try and move things about. Which often just seeing a stone on a different line than you're expecting, you're not expecting to peel on that line. It can be a little off-putting and maybe...
He can freeze on the front one or even the second one or somewhere in the pocket between them. Just adds a bit of technical difficulty onto the shot.
Yeah, that's a nice stone. It certainly means he can only go the one way, can't he? Can't afford to choose a different hand. He's got to hit it on this high side.
Sweeping this one all the way down. So he's a bit wider. He's taking out his own one.
He's really wide.
He's drawn the mistake. I think he's actually got away with his mistake there. It's not as bad as it could have been, but yeah, there we go. So
exactly what we said.
Asked him for a slightly more difficult shot.
Yeah.
Overthrew it.
That's it. You're so determined then not to be tight that yeah, just made a little bit too sure there, and was potentially a little on the wide side.
I like this. Yeah, that's what you want.
So what have we got going on here? We're going to...
Yep. Firm.
He still lies 2 against.
Yeah, I think he might
so
want
I
to
think
move
he's
his
going to try and
yellow
tap up the yellow or another freeze on the other.
This looks quite short. Maybe it was even a guard.
This angle here certainly looks quite short as he called the guard.
That's it.
We're working it well. I think he's pretty good for the freeze now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's drawing round.
Perhaps.
No. Come.
I wonder if that was the initial
Is that
call or
an
if
alternative
that
call?
was kind of how it ended up. Yeah, that would not, kind of wouldn't be what I'd expect to come right round the
Not when
outside
you're lying
there,
2
but,
against in the rings. I think that's...
Again, maybe just thinking I'll mix this up a little bit, try and confuse the opposition sometimes. That's the one thing about the free guard zone rule. The ends can be a little samey, can't they? They can be a little formulaic or
especially
or
the top level teams. There's almost a 4-stone protocol of where you put them.
Yeah.
So this time next year, of course, we'll have different rules to talk about because we've got the 5 rock rules coming in, and how that will change the game. A lot more stones in play, I believe.
Certainly confuse old timers like me, I think. Yeah, we'll see how that. But you're right. There'll be a lot more stones in play, and potentially more requirement to play these touch shots and to be playing all your weights, to have your hack weight and your back ring and bumps here and there.
Certainly going to change the role of the number 2 player, I think.
So this is looking a little heavier. He wants to move something.
Going to try and make a play in his red. I think they've just lost that. Is it just going to flick the yellow?
Well, it's actually not worked out too badly for him.
He's getting away with his mistakes, isn't he? That's he was a long way inside what he called there. But these reds are not easy to get them both out now. But I suppose the bad news is he left this yellow one over here on the right hand side.
Yeah, that could be.
Which could be the
nice
that could be the 2-point counter later on in the end. Yeah.
And Alexander wants a wee hit and roll away from this one, and then that opens up the top red, doesn't it?
If he can hit and roll to the left as we look now over to the one on the corner, they might not come back into play for the rest of the end because all the rest of the stones are around the 4-foot. Nicely get hit as part of a double takeout, but that's what he's thinking.
I'm thinking he was a little inside because the shout went up almost before
he let it go. He doesn't want to touch that front red one, which is exactly what he's done.
Yeah, that's
a shocker.
Yeah, that's not good. He's not going to be pleased with that. And we can tell by his face that he is not.
He's exasperated himself. Anyway, on such things, the end has changed, and Neumann now has a chance to lie to himself. He's going to try and get some movement apart, because if he leaves it in behind the red, then the German team still have a chance for a double for their 2 eventually. Nose hit here makes a steep angle.
Yeah. He would still fancy that, though. I think he maybe wants to move a little, do you think? Or
he's got room to roll out to the left-hand side, which is obviously the small side, the tight side.
Yeah.
But that would just make the angle even more steep for the German team. Bring his counter back over, so I think he'll be happy enough with right on the nose of it.
It's quite a nice controlled weight.
Yeah, it's a nice throw.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, absolutely on the nose.
So choices, he can either go for the double and put his yellow over to the right hand side. He can nose this one, just bounce over to his final option would have been to hit the one by his left foot and then come in behind that one and make the Swedes play the fancier shot. I like to play the straight hit on the front red.
Yeah, I think he wanted a little roll maybe, but we're not needing to sweep this at all, so you don't want to roll.
That's what he called. You see, that's what he called, was to go that way again. That's on the thin side. It's really hard to get that right.
Yeah, it's quite easy to catch too little and roll too far, which technically he has, really, hasn't he?
Yeah. So you should see some separation on the reds here. T-line draw.
I like the draw. I'm surprised he's not actually.
Think he would be a hit that one?
Going for the hit, even on the.
No, he's worked himself into this position quite well. He's had a couple of lucky breaks this end, but he's got a chance now to sort of turn the screw. And if he can get this one across 3 o'clock position on the 8-foot circle.
Yeah, taking inside the centre lines actually. It's a little bit of a risk there because if it comes off the centre line quickly, he could quite quickly run out of house.
I'm surprised he didn't just take another maybe 6 inches more ice just to make sure, because he wants to make
sure. The player maybe took 6 inches more ice.
He wants to make sure this one lies the shot so that Baumann has to play on this one rather than the one that's freezable on the left-hand side of the rings.
Yeah, this is still moving, so the sweepers are right back off. I think Baumann will get a wee sweep at this one. If he can get it back into certainly third position now, that was a mistake again, I think, wasn't it? He's going to try the.
I'm sure he needs to play the tap up, doesn't he?
Well, it gives him the chance of bringing that side yellow into play, doesn't it? At some point,
the far this one, yeah, sure.
If he can stick this, if he can nose this one, which is really all he's needing, isn't it? A nose hit, which you would say if it was a single stone.
Yes.
You know, you'd say, oh, nose hit all day long. But if he can stick both these yellows, the played stone and the one that he's now trying to raise up.
This one's lying second, this yellow's lying second counter, so if he was to chip out the red and roll to the middle, he'd lie 2. I just think this way he can only lie first, third and fourth, best case scenario.
Yeah, but I don't think he's got an awful lot of room, does he, if he came back at sort of back ring hack weight? Well, they're working this hard and they certainly don't want to be losing either of these stones. They need 2 of them to stay, to give them the chance of,
he doesn't lie the shot.
No, but it does give them the chance of a bigger score, I think.
Do you think?
I think so. You know, we've seen the Swedish teams make a few mistakes on their draw weights. He just needs this to be a little heavy, or, you know.
This is last stone. This is Swedish last stone. So again, he can just put maximum separation between these two, and Baumann's forced to take a one. That was.
I think trying to chip the small angle, the small amount of red that he would have seen there, though, was still as difficult. I don't know if it was any
Maybe just got the stone on the wrong side there, did he?
Yeah, slightly, I think.
Yeah.
Vincent, come on. Vincent. Come on.
The sweepers don't want to be sweeping this. You see this? I guess he's got practically 6 feet to play with.
Just being a bit cautious on it. He's maybe just overthrown this. All my wise advice is for nothing because he's thrown it through the rings.
Yeah, you see, I think, well, it's easy to say, but you know, he hasn't drawn particularly well.
No.
And I think that even a small amount of pressure, because he could, you know, you see all those yellows sitting about and you think, I've got to make this, and now he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. He's
we've got
potential 4 in the cards.
Yeah, I liked Alexander's first call. The first stone. But yeah, you've got to think that your opposition was actually going to put it where they want it. So it's been an end of mistakes, I think, that have been telling in this end rather than cracking shots.
So he can capitalise on it.
Yeah, he has
Get the
to.
nose hit for the 4. I mean, any contact he's getting is 3, I think.
A 4
he
here
wants
is
to make sure
a
that
great
his 4
score.
is it's a bit of a hammer blow actually from where they were 2 minutes ago.
Oh my lord, they lost that with the sweepers.
They didn't jump on that. That was from about 2/3 of the way down they started sweeping.
Yeah.
And not with a lot of intensity.
Yeah, that's an opportunity lost for them to go 2 up. From being 2 down was a big turnaround. Still a nice score. They'll take 3 at the beginning of the end, I'm sure, but when you've got the chance for a fairly straightforward
put some
open
clear
nose
water
hit,
between you as well.
you've got to take it. So. Yeah, there's still a bit of curling to be done here.
Yep, halfway through, so 2-point game, 4-2 Baumann over Mabergs.
3-2.
3-2, sorry, he didn't make that goal.
Yeah,
3-2,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, plenty curling left.
Yeah.
And as more stones have come into play, the error count has gone up.
Yeah, they're more technical.
Yeah.
They're asking them to play slightly more difficult shots, and they're not making them, are they? Not to the same proficiency as they were making their peels and just nose hits when it was a fairly straightforward first couple of ends. So I hope we're going to get another guard here. I think he has to, you know, try and force the issue. I think the team that really puts a foot on the gas.
Yeah,
here
I think so. He's got
forces the issue, but this is coming into the house. I think
four ends of accurate curling. I think would be enough to win it for either team.
Yeah.
How often do we see that?
That's really.
Hold.
That's not great from at this
That's
stage
not
throwing into the back ring.
Third game of the weekend.
Yeah.
He's been asked. Worst case, he's been asked for T-line and he's thrown it to the air.
And this looks a bit like the first end again, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back in time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as you say, at this stage in the competition, they've all played 3 games. We've had there have been 4 draws on the ice. Then is this the 4th?
Yeah, there was a game
so
first thing this morning, just as the rest of us were getting out of bed. These guys were playing.
So they should be quite comfortable with the weight of the ice. They should be quite comfortable with the amount of swing they're getting. But I think, I think he's not as steady in his delivery as the other lead, which as Pat. So he certainly maybe that's making things a little tougher for him. But there we go. Solid hit.
Still played it. Still goes in the book as a 4. And the stats count. Doesn't matter how. It's just the how many.
We see a lot of curlers in Perth with a reasonably high delivery, and a lot of them are very good curlers. Aren't they, Pete?
Good of show.
Anyhow, we digress again. It's easy to digress when it's a straightforward end like this, isn't it? But they're working this one reasonably hard, but I guess it's going to be a hit and stick. We're not getting anywhere near the tee line yet.
No, we'll watch a couple more strikes come down. Hopefully they're all made.
Yeah, we've got, as we've said, we'd keep an eye on what was happening on the other sheets, and Brewster and Pfister are having a fairly open game along on sheet A that's no score yet in the fourth end, Alan. That's possibly as many hits going down as this one, but Drummond and Bryce are having a close game. They're 2-all. Simmons has stolen a 2, so actually leads Schwaller now, having been 3-0 down. He's 4-3 up. And Rana versus Murazumi, the team that you were saying earlier had a great game against Eden and lost out at the last end. They're having a tight game, and Rana, the senior team, which I'm sure they don't mind me saying that because they are all seniors. They're leading 1-0 at the moment and having a really close game. So
it's unusual for a Tom Brewster team to have 3 blank ends. I know he's not got the hammer, but Tom continues to call games with lots of stones in play.
Yeah, they're. It's obviously his style. He's played that way for a long time
definitely.
now, and I think he's comfortable playing that game and plays it well. So they must be either the opposition are playing very accurate hits here and managing to squeak out the blanks, or they're playing a more open game, but we can't see because it's a way along at the other end from us. So we had a roll out there.
Yeah, we had a mistake there. We had a little roll out, so a chance for Germany team to try and put a guard back in play. They're continuing to suit this in there. Maybe they're quite happy. Maybe.
Yeah. They're on the even ends now, I suppose. If they.
Yeah.
Although you'd have thought they might want to force in this fifth end. If they could have forced the 1 here and then gone into the 6 peels with last stone.
6, 7, 8. Take it from there.
But
they are the more experienced team. They're more international experience. Olympics, Europeans. The repechage thing that was in the Czech Republic just at the beginning of December. They've come through. I'm not sure they get much of a challenge from the rest of Germany to be the German team that goes to international events. So they're getting a lot of big-time experience purely by being the only German team that's available to play. So probably favourites to win the game.
Yeah, I suppose at this point it's still quite difficult to call, but I guess Mabergs' team are maybe making more of the mistakes.
Yes.
Across the board, there are half shots sneaking in, where the tail end of Baumann's team, Alexander himself, has played quite well. You know, he's made that hit and roll, but I do think that was a sweeping error. That should have been on that all the way down just to make sure. Anyway, here we go with another hit here from Frederick. It's a little maybe down weight than he usually plays, and this is moving on them.
Both sweepers going on this one.
Oh no, they're up again, so they must think it's they're quite happy back. The roll to centre, quite nice there. We've got 2 Scottish teams battling it out here, and we've certainly got the experienced head of Ewan McDonald, who's played here for a number of years, and young James Craig at 16. His junior team won the right to come to the Masters, didn't they? And they're loving the experience and the opportunity to play these.
Scottish Junior Tour prize for winning the Scottish Junior Tour was a berth in the Masters. So
it's a terrific prize. I mean,
absolutely. What a great experience for a young team. Good team. Good team, and a great scalp last night. They took down Attinger.
Yes, it
last
was.
night.
It was Attinger, yeah.
And then only lost in the last couple of ends against Ramsfell this morning. So, and what a great experience to play the old timers from Scotland here.
That's right.
You
Yeah,
know, they're all younger than me, but they're still old timers.
Well, they're experienced curlers. That's what we'll say. But we're speaking to James yesterday, James Craig, the skip of the young team, and he was so excited and delighted to be here, which is just great, and as it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't have any pressure on their shoulders at all. They're just here to learn and to play and enjoy it, really, which is great. But it's nice to see Ewan back again.
Still plays a bit of curling up in Inverness. I think he's got the leagues and things he plays up in there, but not doing as much on the Scottish circuit as he used to. But still calls a good game, still throws a good rock.
Yeah. I think we were talking about it earlier, weren't we? And there is no substitute for being match fit, though, you know, and having to play these shots week in, week out. And I guess that's what the youngsters have, maybe that the older guys don't have this year. So we'll see how it works out. But just now it's a close game. It's 1-1, having played 4 ends. So we'll see how that ends up. But back to our feature game.
You've not missed anything as we've been wittering away this series of swapped strikes.
All right, okay. I can go back to perusing the rest of the ice then, seeing if there's anything more exciting going on. But I mean, it's not easy to hit so accurately on this, you know, on swingy-ish ice, and we're maybe not giving them the credit they deserve. But it's just not awful exciting for the viewers. Quite a difference in the time clocks there, aren't there? A couple of minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm surprised there's.
Don't know quite when that's come about, because the clock is based on thinking time. Hasn't been a lot of deliberation about many of the shots.
But I guess it's not surprising that Baumann has more time, because he has been quick.
Yeah, you just trim 10 seconds off every shot just because you're down ready to play, and your sweepers are alert and know what's going on. Then you can maybe just spread the clock that way.
It's important, you know, I think, when you're playing with the time clocks, and we don't play an awful lot with the time clocks here. It's only when you get to competitions usually, and teams can be surprised how quickly that time runs away. If you're not ready to play and you're stone cleaned and sitting in the hack when the skip gives you your instruction, then it very quickly disappears and you are under pressure. So it's important for certainly the leads, seconds, you know, all the players to be ready,
especially when the shots, with the exception of a few stones here and there, have been simple, clearly obvious shots which go further. Shouldn't be wasted time particularly. But, anyway, the end was blanked. Maberg takes the hammer into 6, which he was probably quite pleased with.
Yeah.
Potentially got the hammer in 6 and 8, 2 scoring opportunities against the German 1 opportunity.
You'd like to see the Germans going for a guard this time, trying to put on a little pressure.
Well, I think they should. I think they want to try and steal, to go 1 up, or force to get the hammer themselves, in which case they would play and try and blank out 7 to keep control through 8.
Yeah.
Or think further ahead and potentially think there might be a 9th end if that's what has to go to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So should be a more aggressive end, unless they're going to take it all down to the wire and try and do everything in 7 and 8.
Yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed. And news flash from sheet A.
Here we go.
Pfister has been forced to the 1 after 3 ends of blanking. That will not have been on his game plan. So
that's almost as bad as your game you were talking about earlier on, and I believe that we've had a news update on that as well.
Yeah, we
Somebody
have,
has claimed responsibility for losing.
I'm still
Ronell.
not naming and shaming, because we all know who.
We know she's watching.
We know she's listening, which is even worse. But yeah, it's nice to know that you're there, Christine, listening away. I shall say no more. So we've got our guard. Excellent work, and now we're going to get a corner guard.
Yep, just drop one of these mid-length guards, which means that it's going to be difficult to get double guard, because it's neither one thing or the other. But
I think we're being picky. We've wanted
We've got a guard,
all
we've got a
these
guard. It
years,
has to be perfect.
all these ends. And
Um,
it's going to be a case of like a bus. We've waited for one guard and we
was gonna say
potentially
that-
get two.
Potentially looking for a corner guard here as well.
Yeah.
So both teams are trying to take their skin, as it would be, this so either the steal or the multiple.
Six. Was? Wow, ganz viel. Gut, Linie ist gut. Ganz viel.
German League trying to come behind it with the mid-length guard. He's gone in with his first opportunity. Pretty good, maybe just a foot too far if you've been critical, but we've got a game underway. Swedes are going to try and tap this back on the intern, it looks like, from their call.
Yeah, in previous years, Daniel Herberg has played with Team
On a
Baumann.
rotating basis, yeah.
Yeah, but I note he's not on the sheet at all, not in the name,
No.
so I don't know whether he's not been playing so much this season. I thought he was.
He was definitely playing
at the Europeans.
Europeans and at
Yeah.
the Olympic repechage, I think, on a rotating basis, but
Maybe just enjoying a long holiday,
Bit of-
Christmas, festive break.
bit of time at home. These guys have played a lot of curling, I think, over the last 2 or 3 years, as they've all tried to get Olympic points and Olympic qualification schedule. For the German team, that's
Oh, there's a wee
tip
half
there.
error again.
Yeah, German team not going to the Olympics, so potentially a chance to unwind for a couple of months before stepping back up for Worlds.
Yeah. I suppose that's the luxury. If you've got a five-man team, then you know you're all sort of fit and able, and you're working well as a unit. So why not take a little time off if there's maybe work commitments or family commitments that mean that's the case. So anyway, we'll say hello to Daniel and hope he's well.
Set. Set.
Are we throwing another guard here or trying to come half round?
I think he
flank?
looks like he's trying to.
It's well out there, isn't it?
It's well up there as well. They're stepping right back off that. It's further on than I think he would have wanted. It's going to drift in.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Certainly, I'm sure he didn't call the freeze.
No, I would be surprised because, yeah, again, we see maybe a half shot here that opens the
Yeah.
door for the opposition
Especially with these angles, because he can actually push both these yellows out
and get the roll.
and keep his shooter in behind his own red guard, I think, there, if he gets it absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll be glad to, even if he's just moving the top yellow, if there's slightly more contact with the back one and he doesn't get it out of the house, as long as he'll be really worried about or concerned about the position of his shooter.
Yeah.
That's probably the prime concern. Yeah.
Quite tight ice. He was only just a brush head over the edge of the stones. He's going to have to work this hard. Looks like it's cutting.
Quite a lot of weight and be maybe nose or the wrong side again. We're just not seeing 100% shots, are we, Alan? They're not
Adapting to the wrong call, the wrong
Yeah.
shots. I think he had a chance there to kind of just up the sweeping there and get it. So that both the running stone and the hit stone would move together across the left,
Yeah.
as looked at now.
Yeah, just a
He's
little slow.
kept going for his original call.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to make the best of what you've got coming at you rather than thinking you're going to make the shot you were looking for.
That was on the tight ice as well.
Yep. Hard.
So it's a bit to and fro. Can't really call
This is
this
really
game at the
moving,
moment,
isn't it?
but he's really got a cutter going here.
He'll be lucky to keep this. Yeah. Again, certainly not what they were looking for.
Just to see the wide shot, see whether that's in behind the red. Yes, it is. So that yellow's quite safe there, but just gives Neumann's team just a chance to get in behind the yellow guard. I think it's not wide enough to be called a corner guard, but it's definitely usable for the team that's looking to take a 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite an error there,
I think
because
so, must have cut right underneath that.
yeah, Baumann needed to keep play in the centre and he needed to keep themselves, with the with the stones in play there, so they'll be ruining that chance to lie two. Two quite well positioned. So. Perhaps we haven't seen many draws by the second player. But he's done that beautifully. That's a super weight, kept it high, and you know, even if Baumann gets a chance to hit on the high side, it's always going towards that yellow.
The guard is quite long, so he's definitely going to be able to get round it. It's just a matter of where they manages to push the red one too, I think.
Yeah, that's a super shot.
Chance to redeem himself as chaps threw a couple of poor stones coming this way the last.
Yeah, I think it was his handle a little, wasn't it? Oh, they're liking the weight, but yeah, it's beginning to go. They're going to have
swing, but hanging back off it. So.
And they want it to move, so they're. Well, it's a nice weight actually. It's a controllable sweeping weight.
Yeah, good shot there.
Yeah, that's a lovely stone. Yeah, I think we'd say he'd done as much with that as he could. That was lovely. It was a super controllable weight. You know, they were able to.
That's probably the weight they should be playing quite a lot. I think the ice is swinging.
Yeah, on this ice.
With nice handles, they can really begin to play those weights down.
If the guard's in the right place, then there's absolutely no reason why they can't drop the weight a little and play that. It's so controllable by the sweepers. They can hold it a little bit straighter. They can ask it to bend a little. It's really a great weight to be playing.
So looking for something similar. You can get down to what we call the low side of that yellow stone, which is the left-hand side as it's coming towards us now. But I don't think he's got the right handle on that, has he? He's just.
They're still sweeping, but it has to be on the guard. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he has to. He's now definitely covered that corner. Staggered guards. So advantage Baumann at the moment, I think, on this end.
Yeah, it'll be.
Going to ask a big question of Patrick Mabergs with his last stone.
Yeah, they worked that hard, but they just. It was kind of from release, wasn't it?
Release, yeah.
And you know, he.
Having just said it's nice ice for playing those down weights.
Yeah, he spoke, you know, just as he let it go, and I think he maybe thought to himself, I've started this, or, you know, I've not a little bit rolled it a wee bit. So he made the sweepers aware, but there was only so much they could do. But yeah. A good guard here.
Good guard here. He's got another hand, so he's not coming down the path they've been playing on these strikes.
Maybe just because of the big draw.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe quite difficult to position your guard exactly where you want it when the drawing is.
Look at this one
quite
going. That's a good angle there. We can see. Sometimes I don't think the curling television coverage. You can see stones curling early on, but there you really could do that. It was a great vision.
I love that on nice shot. It's really good. It's quite dramatic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gives you the atmosphere. Yeah, super.
Well, he's got the line. He's probably just critically a bit short. It's definitely no problem to get round this.
But you know, we've seen these long guards catch the eye and then the stones also. So this is a tempter because he thinks he can see a little edge of it, and you know, do you put on a little bit more weight and then it runs a little straighter than you expect. So this isn't by no means in the bag for him. This is still a tricky shot facing two. But we'll have a watch of his release this time and see what we think.
Looks a bit more positive.
Certainly, I think it's
lots
a
of
lot
revs
more
in that
weight,
one.
doesn't it? And but it's already going. Yeah, that stone really.
He's caught the guard again.
Now this is interesting. If I had any memory at all, last night we were finding that I think it was maybe these 5 and 6. The third player's stones were moving a little bit more
red.
I think. I think if now it was playing. I think now it was playing red last night. I'm either talking absolute nonsense or there is a little bit of...
That's right, or genius.
Yeah, you know, that's often the way with me. I think that the Reds were going, I think 5 and 6, if they're playing them in their numbers, the guys thought did go a little bit more, and that certainly drew a lot.
That one certainly went, because they didn't jump on that one. The
handle.
first one they jumped on because he knew he was inside and away. There wasn't the panic sweeping on that one,
No.
so whether he's just got a cutter there.
Yeah, I think maybe a little. But we'll see. But again, by what to be in the 6th end, they should know.
Maybe
They
she-
should have registered that by now. Well,
Keeping
they're
it quite
open.
simple there.
Yeah.
He went for the hit to try and... I guess he's maybe thinking that his stones weren't good enough for a steal. Therefore, he's just thinking of the force.
Well, and you know, we said it, guarding on super, you know, on ice that swings a lot at the end, it is tricky.
Yeah,
So he maybe thought, I leave that red there, I don't get my guard 100%, I'm looking like losing
Losing
it
F2,
too.
that's right, because it was lying second
Yeah.
shot. So I think that's a fair call. He just didn't get maybe a bit bigger rollover as he was looking for.
He'll be happy with the force here if he can force a 1.
Yeah, he's got to be. He's got a chance here. He's got a chance to hit this on the left-hand side and come in behind these 3 staggered guards.
Yeah. But he's, yeah. They both skips are needing 100% end, aren't they? You know, to kind of secure what they're
Yes.
looking for. And they both have a chance with the way the stones are sitting. So it'll be interesting.
He's going to getting the roll off this one.
They're certainly working it hard, but
No,
not much of a roll at all.
enough.
So
Not enough. So well.
yeah.
So you'd expect Baumann to make this. On the nose would be. I think on the nose would be good, because that would mean that the next hit wouldn't necessarily beat that yellow there. Do you
Yeah.
think? It's close.
It'd be close, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
maybe just.
He could. Well, he certainly can't roll very far out. It's last stone.
This is Baumann's last stone.
Baumann's last
I
stone,
think
yeah.
he'll go for the nose hit. And then he wouldn't have a lot of room on the thin side to kind of get through there. Alternatively, we also saw Mabergs draw through the rings a couple of events ago and against a 3. So
If he got a wee half roll in behind there, you know, he'd be sitting in the 8 foot. I wouldn't
an
mind
in-between type weight
Yeah,
to play.
yeah. Very steady Eddie, and it was a fair bit of weight on this one. So they're not rolling in the way. Yeah, I don't think that's where he wanted to roll, because now he has got a straightforward nose hit.
nose hit.
I think that's the wrong side of the stone. Or maybe he wanted a little more roll to go in behind. But personally, I wouldn't have been going that way, I don't think. Not by plan. It's a wee bit of pressure for Maberg here. He's got to stick this one really. 1 down already. He doesn't want to.
Yeah. The best he could lose would be lose a 1, I guess, but then it's quite difficult to lose a 1. I think if he starts rolling, he's losing everything. I think take his 1. Comes a 2-end game with Baumann with the hammer at the start of it. So Baumann will be happy with that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, ideally, if he could have snuck a wee steal there to go 2 up, that, you know, would have been nice. But I think Plan B would have been make the force, or maybe even Plan A at the beginning of the end. So we'll see. My guess is not a guard this time.
So just going into the last couple of ends of our broadcast match. It's a 3-all draw at the moment, tie at the moment. Alexander Baumann's German team have the hammer in 7, so they're in control of the scoreboard at the moment.
Well, they're happy with the line, but what are they thinking?
Skip's out front, Skip's looking for a guard.
Guard on a guard.
So looking to play at the end for the steal.
It's reasonably
Or a
tight too.
force,
That's
that's-
actually quite a good guard.
Sit tick.
Close enough that Baumann thinks it's
Sit
tickable.
tick.
So yeah, here he goes. First tick that we've seen played by Sebastian Schweitzer.
Yep.
Looking just to push
Whoa.
Mabergs' stone over slightly to the side,
Whoa.
move it from the danger zone,
Yeah, it's a nice
but
weight,
not totally
isn't
out
it?
of play. It
It's,
is a nice play. He got enough of it to do.
It's not quite. Well, you know, he's moved it
He's
a little.
moved it.
And
Yeah, it's not right bang on the centre tape. So he's got a counter in. The only downside you could see is he's not quite cleared the in-turn path. If it came down to it and that stone was still there, wouldn't be able to draw the button on that in-turn. But
yeah, it shifted it just about enough. It was unfortunate because it was a nice
it was
weight.
a well-thrown stone. Yeah, just and only needed to go another inch of draw.
Yeah, didn't need to catch much more.
Anyway, we're back to type. Swedish lads hitting. Never known a lead throw so many strikes at this point.
I know. He does throw them well.
He's in the wrong position then if he wants to.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
he's not
didn't
played
throw that one
card
so
though.
well. Johannes Katz, he's played quite well. I don't think he's been
Duly challenged.
he's not made too many mistakes. But
Oh, I thought we were going to go around the high side there, but he's going to stick with the conventional out-turn draw behind. Yes, he's taking the game by the scruff of the neck here, going in early with his stones.
yeah, I think
I thought he might have
maybe even.
just
I
drawn
don't
one.
know. Does he want to? Does he really want to score here if he doesn't think he's going to get two?
Yes,
Probably.
well, exactly.
Or not. So.
I thought, as I said, I thought he was going to try and play the in-turn draw,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I quite like that round the outside.
sometimes means that you're not drawn into a race to the button that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Here's good.
I know if you're showing them half on the other side, then
Yep.
it's.
Okay, Ryan. Ryan. Go on. Go. Yes. Come.
They're certainly sweeping hard again on this, but it's got a nice line. That'll be quite well behind,
Yeah, I think
but
so.
might wanted a foot deeper. But then with a guard that length,
This
maybe
early in
this
the
is
end,
a
maybe not.
good spot. Yeah. Yeah, they've certainly. I mean, their draw rounds have been really good, haven't they? They've been. Both teams have done well at getting the position they want. But
Spelar bara frysning. Yes. Ja, 20. Ja.
Mabergs' time clock ticking away there down to 13 minutes. I don't think that's really a disaster for two ends, so that's still lots of time, isn't it? And it's really on an end and a half now, so should be bags of time.
Thinking time, yeah, as well.
This is moving. You know, I think they're working hard on this early. I would be surprised if. Oh, this looks like it's all over the guard. Shy of weight, wasn't it?
What's
Really?
happened to that one? Does that catch something, I think, or is that just been
I don't
bad
know.
victory?
They were on it early. I
He's
think.
probably not distraught about it, but he's a long way from where he wanted to be.
Yeah, distraught. I wouldn't expect him to be perhaps distraught at this stage, but yeah, it's not good. It's not.
Dramatise the situation.
Distraught. I've been distraught many a time myself, but not
Not on
maybe.
the ice.
Well, yeah, for sure on the ice. But those are other stories. Seventh end.
Well, it was a good story. You gave us half off earlier on.
Yeah. We'll see. It's perhaps a good job we're not commentating together later in the weekend, or I may have been giving you even more half stories. Yeah. Now it's looking like maybe they could score a two this end. They've got the opportunity, but this is
At some point, he's going to have to play a really good shot in behind this line of the stones, isn't he?
Yeah,
either,
I mean,
either this hit, move halfway across, then halfway again the next time, or
yeah, they're calling the big roll over
for
this
it
time.
straight away. Yeah.
I'm quite surprised because it is, you know, we're on second players. It's a big gamble, isn't it? Well, is it? It just seems like they're setting their stall out quite early in the end.
Yeah, I think so. You play this.
There's no opportunity to bail then, is there?
No. Once if he goes for this, then he's playing the game in the house.
Yeah.
If he's wanting to bail, he starts picking off his own guards at the front there, and takes some collateral damage behind them.
Yeah. But I guess worst case scenario, he loses a 2. He's got to make his 2 in the 8th and then try and steal down the 9th. That's not going to be what he's looking to happen this end. So he would be going all out for all out to stop that happening. But I think this is a big.
It's got such a small margin to hit here to get this into the technically most difficult positions. 8 foot of roll.
Yeah, it's a big shot, and to be fair, Vincent hasn't, you know, he's
And a couple of half stones.
well, yeah, I think he struggled a little. I think he would have. I think there'll have been games that he's played better and felt a little more confident, and they're having to work
hard,
this.
one.
Yeah, this is away, isn't it?
I don't think he's even hit it.
Oh lordy, that's a long way off, wasn't it? He was looking for that half of the stone, but that was practically
There's a stone inside it.
yeah.
So Baumann in the position now of almost too many, lying too well. Where'd you put this next one?
There's a nice shot of the
What do you do to make the next stone difficult?
crowd
crowd
in
there?
watching. Yeah.
Anybody famous there? No.
I saw the famous Jackie Byers, I think.
Very famous.
Very famous. Possibly more famous as Jackie Reid, but she's been Jackie Byers for a wee while now.
Maybe now more famous as Mrs. Byers.
Well, that's a terrible thing to say.
He's a double world champion.
Famous for being a missus, though.
He's a double world champion.
Yeah, but nobody wants to be famous for being somebody's wife. Dare I say. she's a very lovely curler in her own right. Anyway, back to this game before we land ourselves in any more bother. They're working this one hard.
Yeah, it's just difficult. Maybe know where to put this one. He's keeping it well away from the danger zone. He's
Yeah, thrown into the back ring.
thrown there now. So go for this hit and roll again. I think he's kind of in for a penny, in for a pound.
He for sure is now. Or, you know, would you freeze that one? That's your only other option, to freeze that one there in the back of the 8 foot, which
In for a krona, in for
yeah.
appropriate spot.
Ja, drar han den hit liksom, eller? Jag tycker det är nu vi har chansen.
I guess if he doesn't roll too far, then there's a chance that Baumann's team jam it on the back. But
Yeah.
it's a big roll.
It's a big roll. The other call is even bigger, isn't it? Playing the cold draw
Yeah.
against nothing.
Yeah, he could freeze that back one, couldn't he?
Or come
You know,
this-
he's
or
seen
come
the
this way.
or come in. Yeah, come in there.
That's a big.
That's
big
huge.
call. That's for later.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think he's potentially going to have to do that.
Dubbeln så kommer han vicka av på den. Alltså vickar ut lite grann. Får han till dra en bak.
But
Dra en bak så kan vi
We'll see.
vicka på den igen. Jag gillar vicken, ja.
yeah, there's been a couple of half shots, but Baumann's team here they've put their stones exactly where they've wanted
Yeah,
them
they've made
this
it
end.
difficult. They've made it difficult. Didn't help that. I think that distraught stone earlier on actually probably was worse than I maybe first called it.
Yeah.
Double guarded.
Yeah, that. He maybe did deserve to be slightly distraught about it. Like, what have we got going on here? This looks like it's overdrawing again. They're going to roll, but are they going to roll too far? They might hold sitting up there, rolling too far and not even second
God,
shot.
Even second shots. Away.
No. So does
Baumann just replace that one?
does he put it back in the same
I think
shot?
so. He doesn't want to get
You don't want to be too deep.
caught in a guddle.
No, he certainly doesn't want to come round the guards again himself, because he comes in a little too deep. Then
He's called the simple. Just
that's,
hit this one for his to lie 3.
Yeah, that's probably the sensible shot,
Very
isn't
safe,
it?
very safe. Just keeps everything out.
You'll not see all the stones, so he's going to have to watch out for that top guard. And we've seen
Seen a couple just go here as well.
yeah.
No. Yep.
I think Manuel throws a slight, maybe a softish handle.
Just kind of comes over the top of the handle there and
Yeah,
lifts it
yeah.
rather than.
But this looks like
Good.
it's
Good.
Yeah, good
yeah,
shot.
that's super.
It's a good shot.
That's ideal if you're yellow.
Lass ein bisschen nach außen
So
rollen.
here we go. I think he has. He's going to go for the
Yeah, I think he has
clutch
to.
shot now.
I think he has to, because I mean, at worst it's a practice for his next one, isn't it? He's going to have to make it with his.
This is number 6 stone. So
Runt så. Ja.
how'd you get out of this one? What's the best that Sweden can
Ja,
do
prova
from
lika
here?
bättre än den, bara ner hit.
They can obviously get a steal.
Där, bra. Ja, men gärna in
That's
bakom.
going to require
Samma fart.
one brilliant shot
Ja,
and then a couple of
det
half
var en
misses, I
8
think,
förra,
by
men tog en jävla
German.
klar.
Yeah, I think if they could get, ultimately they're going to want to be top 4 foot, aren't they? Not even as far as the tee, probably, with Mabergs' last stone potentially. They're going to want to be there, yeah. And this is he probably does need to hit here. I keep forgetting that he's not playing last
Oh, I
stones.
see, right, yes, okay. Yeah, no, I think he's nose hitting this one or just rolling over slightly. I don't think he can get the double across to the far back one, so.
No.
And he doesn't lie the shot if he rolls into the back of the 8 foot either, I think, so.
I don't think he'll want to roll too far,
I
Alan,
think he's just
because
trying to nose this.
he needs to.
A couple of strikes just brings the angles up
Yeah,
the rink.
yeah.
Maybe gives him a chance to hit and roll again.
He rolls too far this time, then although Baumann doesn't want to come round that guard too early yet either, so what have we got with I don't think that was.
It's a bit of a nothing shot, I
Yeah.
think. It's replace it.
Yeah, I think
Chance to play the intern draw around the back if
I
it's
wouldn't.
yellow.
I wouldn't be coming round there yet. I think that's.
Keep them well separated here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if you can keep it deep. In
And yeah, he's quite happy to throw back 8,
back
isn't
corner.
he? Yeah.
Comes down to a 1 stone draw to the button, I think, for Patrick at the moment.
Yeah.
Look
I
at
mean,
the draw in this one.
He wants, at this stage, he would be really disappointed if he's not scoring more than 1. But he can't really force the issue just yet.
No, it just requires Patrick Mabergs to get a really good draw in now, probably this one.
Det är lättare här ute. Kan inte isen.
Yeah, I think he has to this time.
Hellre att den tar slidespår här så vi hamnar här. Ja. Då har vi rygg där också. Försöker lägga här, va?
He can't wait and play a hit this time and then gamble on making his draw the next time. I think he has to try the draw. If he's really lucky, or not lucky, if he makes his shot well and Baumann misses, he'll have a chance to guard
up.
You know, and really put the pressure on. But yeah, he has to throw the draw, and it has to be a pretty good draw, I think, too.
Yeah, he's not got a lot of airspace to hit there.
No, because if he comes deep, that's not really. I don't think that's a lot of use either. Maybe takes the back 2 out of play, but yeah, I don't think he'll want to be deep. I think he wants to be top quarter of the 4 foot.
It's overhead shot here.
Yeah, really straight handle to
Good
start
camera
with.
work here. This is an out-turn draw. That is straight hand.
So there's a bit of play then, isn't there? And that's when, yeah.
That's when you can just ping them out, isn't it?
Sweepers are on it early. They're not. They're obviously not super confident of the weight, but they're looking. Pats is working very hard.
He's at a tough end. He's been on the inside for 4 stones in a row now and had to sweep every single one of them hard. What's he got?
This is it's just shy
He's
of
cut
weight.
it down. Cut it down, I think, to 1.
Oh, the boy's feeling it.
Let's see. Give that boy some isotonic juice.
I think he'll be recovered and ready to go by the next one. No, he looks a pretty fit cookie.
Wer kriegen wir den nicht, oder?
Well, if you're Baumann, what do you think? Do you think he can catch enough of the
chance to
inside
get
of
more
that?
than a 2.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd get the inside. I think that's too risky. I think he could try and lie behind that.
You know, if I was drawing and I was him, I might be tempted to come the other hand again. You know, round the.
But then he will make the come around. We have no chance.
Yeah.
Den Gegenschlag nicht so schlecht. Aber reinrollen.
You know, if he pops one round the outside, what does
können wir den vielleicht sogar
Trying to
wegnehmen.
draw the button behind that red guard he just played.
Zumindest liegt der irgendwo offen hier rum. Wenn wir vorbei sind.
Yeah, I think I would say trying to get the 4-foot on the in-turn hand.
Verändert die Lage nicht.
Might be tough to know the ice for it.
Ob der jetzt da ist oder nicht da ist.
but you know, it's.
Der bringt nur was, wenn er halb auf ist. Aber dann
I
kann
think
man
you
auch
could.
direkt nehmen.
I think you could play into
Weißt, wenn er gecovert ist,
Mabergs hand
egal,
coming
wie der
down
weg
this
ist.
this hand
So
though.
können wir trotzdem nicht schießen. Wir können nur so schießen dann.
I think if he comes,
klar.
yeah.
Aber das kann man dann auch, wenn er so halb
Top-
offen ist,
top
kann man
four
auch
on the
direkt
outturn.
nehmen
With no inside roll possible.
With no inside roll possible, but yeah, I mean the margins for error are small on either. He
dann.
daren't
Wenn
come
you
deep.
roll or again the come around. Ja?
He'll be glad he was getting on with business in the first few ends.
Aye.
So now he's got plenty of time to think about this and have a good team discussion. And all four are certainly involved.
To draw.
Das ist ja der Einzige, wo gerade stört.
Then
I
he
don't
will
think
make
I'd
the
go back
draw.
there.
Ja,
No.
ja.
You know?
Because you,
I don't want to leave him the whole 4-foot.
Correct.
I think that's a wise choice. But yeah, you've got nothing. You've got nothing to bring those bottom 2 yellows into play, really.
No. They're out the game now.
Yeah.
So
I like this too.
So he makes a nice draw here. He's still looking like scoring
Don't draw.
or having the chance of scoring a 2. But I don't know why
I
you
don't know
would
why
go
they're
there.
looking at drawing to this far side and leaving the whole of the 4-foot open. I think you've got to
Yeah.
take control of the 4-foot here.
Yeah. And
Nicht zu tief, sonst bringt er
and then you give him a hit and roll, and you're
Make
forced to
him-
a 1.
Make him play.
Yeah, you know, if you come over to this other quarter and you're sitting right on the 8-foot heat, I don't like this call.
So he's just trying to draw fully 8-foot. Do you think
Yeah.
lie the shot in on the right hand side of the screen as we look at it in the 8-foot circle? So T weight.
Yeah, he can't go halfway into the 12 because he's got to lie 2
No.
because that front red's not going anywhere. You wouldn't think.
No, I think he wants this one to lie the shot though. He wants this one to be the number 1 shot so that
Ryan,
Mabergs
Has to chase it. Yeah.
hinten 4, 8,
They're thinking it's got plenty. No, neither working.
Linie sehr gut, 8,
it's a good 8.
verlängert, auch 8.
I would have thought at a good 8. Why are they sweeping it so hard? They don't want it to be a. They don't want it to be a 9. Now that you see, I think they've overswept that. They have. That's a wasted shot to my mind. It's done
Yeah,
nothing.
it's done nothing there. I think
Nej, jag menar, går vi i egen och rullar i plan 2 så är det bara det är väldigt godkänt med dem.
I think if anyone should be distraught, that should be the sweepers.
now's the time for
Det är
distraughtness.
lite mer där.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's poor. I think he played that well,
Yeah, it.
and they could have been a yard lighter than that.
Yeah.
Ligger bara en.
They swept it practically the whole way down, didn't they? They kind of stopped top of the house. They weren't even stopped long before then, or not get started
Yeah.
quite so early.
So yeah, so left the door open a little bit here for Mabergs. Admittedly, it's only going to be a 1 steal, and Baumann will still be 1 down with the hammer.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So maybe he's not.
So maybe he thought that was
Chief
better
also
than
quite
being 1
likes
up
that,
with.
yeah. But I think at that point he was still
Looking for
really
2
in the
or
driving seat to make 2,
2
wasn't
maybe
he?
even more.
Yeah.
Gav lite.
And who's to say?
Linje,
Poor Pats is having to
Here he
to
goes
work
again.
again.
linje, ja, linje. Håll i den, Anders, ta den.
Yeah, they're really going hard. This has to be line shot by the time they're finished, or.
Ja, den, kom igen.
Here comes that's touching the middle tape now.
Oh, that's an interesting. Oh, that was close, wasn't it?
It was pretty good for away there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That would have been good.
Mm-hmm.
Just that slight feathering. Anyways, again, the
Momentum
advantage
swings
just
again.
changed again. Yeah. There he goes. You see, he's going to need that all of that dinner tonight.
I think he is. Yeah.
Depending how this goes, he'll be looking at getting up early tomorrow if it doesn't go well. Do they jump down to...
Losers on at 8:30 in the morning.
Oof.
Actually, it's a no win, no lose situation because the winner plays at 8:30 in the morning
Is that
as well.
right? So,
In a different road.
Yeah, I think you'd rather be in the B road at 8:30 than the C road at 8:30. But
Yeah, nice
anyway,
shot there. Good shot. Control,
yeah.
nice control. Wait till Baumann takes his 2.
Yeah. So he'll...
As we expected all the way through that end.
Well, yes, until the sort of his second last stone really kind of threw the cat amongst the pigeons a little, but he'll be happy with that. He's going to feel quite comfortable with a 2-shot lead going down the last, even without last stone.
Yep.
But,
First stone shouldn't be in the ring. Shouldn't be in the guard zone. It should be into the rings and
Yeah.
take it from there.
you know what though? I would not be surprised if this has an extra end written all over it. No, we've seen a lot of half shots. Baumann's team, I think, have perhaps been the
Just at the
stronger.
edge, yeah.
Yeah, they have been a little more consistent and made the shots when they count. But I wouldn't be surprised if Mabergs managed to
The 2 out the bag.
string an end together. That's all they need.
Yeah, well, that's right,
need,
and it's not really what they've had so far.
Yeah, there's just always been a couple of loose shots,
Yep.
which
So
have
if they can
kind
get
of
8 out of 8, then
let's
potentially.
see. We're off and running again anyway.
So we're in our 8th end. Some of the other games are now close to completion or completed. I can see that Russian Timofeyev has won his B-Road game against Elam Setter. Van Dorp's very much in control against Attinger.
40 tror jag är bra.
All the rest of the games I think are quite tight. So we'll update those as they all conclude, if they're within the time frames of our game. So a nice opening draw by Schweitzer. Just hit the back of the button.
Jättebra linje.
Back of the button perhaps is not maybe where we wanted to go.
It's not ideal, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not a disaster.
It's
It's not back of the forefoot,
No.
which would have been
Lite lång.
less handy. But young Mr. Pats
I
is
think we have
throwing the corner.
this is very close to going in.
He's 4 feet, close to going in, maybe 2. That's a nice stone.
That drew up quickly. Because that was game over if that got in.
Well, it certainly,
should have
yeah, we would have been seeing more distraught curlers on the ice. Anyhow, here we go. Are we coming close, or is he coming right onto it? Thinking right onto it, maybe?
He's looking for the same distance shy of the tee this time. I think this is the last one. It's got a bit of line to get
Yeah,
to
it's got to
find
come,
yet.
but it's we do a fair bit of movement in the
Yes.
last
Good
end.
there. Good there. Slight angle to maybe use the corner
Yeah.
guard or just go in straight away.
I think they're not perfect. I'm going to be a little harsh.
Harsh.
Yeah. I think they would have wanted them much closer together and less of an angle on them, but who am I?
Well, he's going in behind the corner guard with his lead second stone here, which means that Baumann will then peel off the guard
Bra linje.
Yeah, another corner wouldn't have been
Ja, vinst.
or
over the
make
other side, or
Ja, linje. Bra linje, bra linje. Patrik, gå. Patrik.
he's he's relying on
Kom igen.
misses or
igen.
jams.
Yeah.
Kom igen.
if he'd thrown another corner, they would only be able to take one of the corners off, and then you're anyway. There's, I guess it's what you fancy. So we're starting the peeling as you would expect.
Maberg still has to move 2 stones out the 4 foot.
Yeah. This early in the end, it's certainly looking like advantage to Baumann. Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
well, not now. That is the best commentator's curse I think I've ever heard.
Halfway down the ice, I managed to make a stone miss. That's quite the talent. So
That was extraordinary. Now, do that again.
I daren't. That's clearly what happened to my own peels. I would think, oh my
That's
lord,
fine,
this is
it's
going to
good.
miss. And then it did. Anyway, before we get distracted, what are we doing with this one? Coming
Well, I
on
think he's
to
making a play in
ones,
the
or
middle
maybe a wee
stones
tap
now.
back?
He's getting plenty ice. It's almost like he's coming to the back one, do you think?
I think I'd be tempted to be moving the top one first. You come to that back one and then it's always there to be used as a weapon, isn't it?
Surprised he's not hitting one of these ones and trying to roll over to the right hand side. Huge separation between his two stones. Putting the pressure on Baumann's teams to make a double somewhere along this.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessarily
It's a good tactical call, so he can flick this one out. He's still going to be lying 2 against.
Yeah, I think the top one was the one to make the play on there.
Safety first, take the guard.
Yeah, I suppose maybe, like we said earlier, this kind of unorthodox throwing in a couple of random calls maybe makes Alexander think a little and perhaps make choices that he wouldn't
Make the wrong choices.
choose. But he's going
guard,
for the guard here, which is probably he can lose a 2. He can't lose. He can't lose a 3.
He can definitely lose a 2 at the moment. The way these stones are lying.
But a guard is not going to be his friend.
That's coming into the play. That's coming into play here.
Oh
dear.
Lord. Yeah, well,
Well, there you go. Good call by Neumann earlier, a minute ago.
yeah. That was always the stone to play, the tapping back onto the. Yeah, that's
a big miss.
Well, he changed hands on him because he didn't. He freshed on the intern, but I think he would still have been playing it on the intern. That, playing it on that hand, you were wanting to come right over the face.
Move the stone you're hitting to the narrow side.
Yeah. You didn't want that stone to be coming anywhere near.
So we had to cut really fine to cut across the face of those ones in the house.
Yeah, no, that's.
So well, he's now set himself up to have to play probably 3 doubles in a row as a team.
But you would have to think that
round.
Maberg was certainly not counting on this being the
No, that was a
situation,
bonus.
so he's probably a little confused about what do I play where, and it could be, you know what it's like. There'll be too many stones in play.
There'll be doubles somewhere.
Almost. So there's
Double
bound to
somewhere.
be doubles, and you end up getting a double and maybe even a handy wee check on another stone. So although you would rather be red currently, it could end up
So I
that
think
there's.
he takes this one in the top
lots
left
of
corner
doubles.
first. He's got the double behind it, or if he's narrow on it, he's got the double crosses. Keep another counter in play.
Yeah, but this is the hand that or the piece of ice that they're
They're not
struggling
liking, are
with.
they? Yeah, so
So we'll see. Certainly
at the moment, it's just a nose hit.
tightened it up. Just a nose hit.
Silence.
Yeah, that's not always what you want. Yeah. So Maberg, does he put it back in the same spot? Does he choose to freeze one? Does he same spot maybe? He might want to go slightly nearer to that yellow half round there. Doesn't want the freeze on the back though, does he?
No, I think he pretty wants to keep this one well out of play. If he can get it all the way across the left-hand side, almost lying 4th shot. This angle here and the 2 ones on the right-hand side of the sheet's really steep.
Yeah. And I guess the back ring there is far enough back that the freeze on there isn't going to help.
He's going the other way. He's ignoring us. He's going the other way. He's playing.
Is he?
He's playing towards the 2 stones on the right-hand side. I think. Is it going out? Oh, you see these skips that can't be bothered
Changing
taking their hand out their pocket.
Yeah. They should be signalling. They're working reasonably hard on this. They've given young Mr. Pats a rest from the stone line.
Yeah. It's pretty good here, I think. He gets a little. Has he got the bite?
Oh, he doesn't
Dear, see
even
that
make
needed
the
Pats
house.
on that and sweep it.
She was. I cannot quite comprehend the number of errors.
Sweeping errors.
Yeah, and I mean throwing. They were on that one. That was light.
All you have to do is draw the 12 foot there.
How many have we seen?
The position.
Yeah.
He had a huge margin of error. He could be anywhere in that top quarter, and he was like 3-4 good ones.
We've seen the skip and third of Team Mabergs, Patrick and Frederick, really struggle with their draws. We've seen some through the house. We've seen some, really well short.
That was the line that he did put one through the back. So it's just taken a fraction of a second of running off it.
Yeah, and I guess the big draw when they're drawing away from the house, it doesn't take much.
Big swing on that, you turn away from.
But Baumann makes a double here, and we're looking. Well, he doesn't. Or get a roll.
No.
So that wasn't that. Again, they haven't capitalised on the error that they've been given.
Back to the middle, wasn't it?
Yeah. Still.
That's a flat. The two reds that are left, they're flat.
Very flat.
I can see it the side of the window here. Those are flat.
Oh yeah, yeah. So a nose hit probably does Frederick here. And then what does Baumann do? Does he freeze it and say, well, freeze the one in the centre? I think be tempted, Alan. Not really got a double going on. Leave that for your last one. Yeah, that's exactly what he wanted to do.
So hit the inside of this when he's looking at the double.
Very thin,
All
isn't it?
double as well. 15 feet. 17 feet.
You know, it's a big call as well. He could make the hit and roll off the one on the 4 foot in behind here. Not got much to go to. No, you've not got a great deal.
I think start with the further forest one and get something off it. You can see, you might.
Even if you stay in the house, you could
get this long double. I think that's what they're looking at, is the long double. We'll say that's his number one shot he's looking at.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to get his hit and roll in front of the shot stone.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That seems to be the call, and it's
and his third option.
Sensible.
Third option, I suppose, would be the really skinny double, but nobody
not
ever
playing
call
at much
that.
weight.
He's just trying to make sure he gets a yellow in front of a red.
Trying to hold the shooter. My word.
That's another sweeping error, is it?
No. Ooh. That was very nearly. I mean, that was a great shot.
That's very well judged. I just said that was
at that kind of weight.
Coast to coast double.
Yeah. You know, you would see most of those coming down with a little more weight behind them, I think, Alan, wouldn't you? Trying to sort of get a little bit.
Especially when you're trying to hit a stone that far away.
Yeah. That was.
I mean, ideally, you probably did need a bit more weight because he wanted rid of that one.
Yeah.
Mabergs still has a shot to lie 3.
Yeah.
Which is
and there will not be there'll not be an easy double potentially.
Well,
although
the two beside his brush might be doubleable, and if he's a touch high on this, until he takes out his own counter.
Yeah.
And probably squirts out himself.
Well, they're not thinking it's high.
This in-turn line catch them out again, I think. No.
She was.
Well, I think your extra end's looking good.
Well, you know what? I'm not even confident of that yet. We've seen so many kind of half shots.
Well, he's got this
Baumann could come down here and make this double.
Steeper than it was.
Yeah, gosh. Would you believe that? At one point, 4 shots ago, they're drawing to lie 4.
Yeah.
They fail with that. Then they're hitting to lie 3, and they fail with that. To be fair.
Although maybe not, because even if he jams on there, that red might be split on the front. That would be exciting.
Well, that would be good. They'd bounce it off the yellow and in. I hope they would go. Well, we'd have to go for it. Maybe they'd go for it for 3.
They'll go for it. Ooh, no.
If he only takes one of them. He's
missed it.
Ooh.
Ooh, split for the... See, Remember that first end was really dull, and the second end was quite
You
dull.
can hardly believe it
And
now.
now we've got a split for 3 for the match.
It's all happening now. Gosh, need a bit more of that.
Jag tror det är bra, vi håller den
So
här.
what do you reckon?
Jag säger 4-5.
He's going for
He's
it.
going for it.
4-5.
Oh, now. Is he going to get a 2 out of this at least? Make your call, Al. Make your call.
Extra end draw. He's going to get one of them in. He's definitely getting the one that's in play there in. Whether he can get enough action off his running stone.
Okay, so you think
Depends what
it's-
weight he's playing. It's not taking much ice. He must be
Yeah.
playing it firmish, which means that it's got the potential of
I don't know what to go for.
hitting it across the face and only scoring one.
Yeah.
What kind of weight would you play? Hack weight?
Looks like that's
Bigger
what
than
he's
hack. It's
playing.
bigger than hack.
Oh gosh, he's only going to score 1. I don't think we're going to get our extra end. He's going to miss this.
Oh my God! He
has
says
missed
he
it.
doesn't like it. Oh dear. Well, that was anticlimactic.
That was terrible. That was a terrible shot. You had to make sure
Had to
you were
touch around.
making 2. I think it was the weight. I think they should have taken more ice and thrown hack to back,
Yeah.
hack at the very,
was-
very most. That was
To miss that
too
on the
heavy.
Low, to miss it on the low side.
That was barrier, wasn't it? I mean, that was.
I mean, any contact on it that was coming into the yellow and spitting
Yeah,
back
yeah,
for your 2,
yeah,
you'd have lost your shooter way over there somewhere. But
that's
to not hit the object stone.
no, that's a poor shot. So
But
Anyway.
part of that was because he didn't yet know that intern ice, I think. He had 2 draws through the back, 1 short, a couple of things,
Yeah.
and he just didn't,
Just
playing
drawing
the
a little
intern
harder.
into that stone
would you? I think I might have come the same hand he came,
would have
but
given you a definite 2.
well, unless you overdraw.
Yes.
You know, that way, if you're throwing back ring, and you overdraw,
Yeah.
you're still going to get your 2.
Anyway,
Anyway,
it's on the board as
Baumann.
a Baumann victory over Mabergs, 5-4.
And to be fair, they were the better
They
team.
were the better team.
Yeah, it would have been slightly against the run of play if Mabergs had taken the 3 there, but there were chances for
Chances
For
were both
both
teams, I
teams
think.
throughout.
Even with Baumann being the better
Yeah.
team, I think there were
Yeah.
chances.
there were
They'll be
lots of mistakes. To be fair, I think that would be there was nice stones across the piece as well, but there were a lot of
consistency.
mistakes. Yeah. Anyway, it was a nice afternoon's viewing with you, Alan. Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you. That is my last stint of the day. I think you're on again tonight.
I'm on again this
Rob.
afternoon. Yeah, straight away. I think the 4:15. Is it 4:15
A-Road.
or 4:30? A-Road semi.
You're on the A-Road semi and with a 4:30 start, so yeah, you've got no
So I'll
gap.
have time for a quick cuppa and
get
then
a
I'll be
cup
back.
of
Yeah.
Okay. Just seeing a few of the highlights before we just close out the broadcast.
Have we got anything we can update? It looks like Tom and Pfister are in the 8th end with Tom 2-1 up but without last stone. Bryce is looking in a commanding lead against Drummond at 6-3. Schwaller and Simmons are peeled playing 7. Rana and Marizumi are peeled
Peels
playing
playing
8.
yep.
That's an exciting game. And Craig and McDonald are peels playing 8. So yeah, good games across the piece. And Attinger and Van Dorp, that looks like it must be quite close as well because lots of stones in play. So yeah, good games.
Okay, thank you everyone. Good night and enjoy the next game as they come round. Thank you.